When the Mandaean scriptures describe the end of a life, they don't speak of a quiet fading away. They describe a violent extraction, a radiant force tearing itself away from a heavy, stone-cold world. This ancient text views the human body as nothing more than a temporary house. The soul is the pearl inside that house, the only thing keeping the rooms illuminated and the structure standing. The moment that pearl is removed, the house doesn't just become empty, it begins an immediate, chaotic collapse. The hymn describes walls caving in and lamps being extinguished. Doors drop from their hinges, the windows fall, and the eyes and ears, the very portals of the house, instantly lose their function. This total sensory failure suggests a stark reality. The material world has no light of its own. It is a ruin that only appeared functional because a divine spark was temporarily holding it together. Thrown out of this familiar material shell, the soul is suddenly exposed to the terrifying vastness of the cosmic journey. The text describes the soul as a naked bird. It reminds us that we arrived in this world with nothing, and we are forced to leave it in the exact same state, stripped of every possession and every physical defense. This raises a desperate question for the traveler. How can something so small and defenseless survive the ascent through the unknown regions of the afterlife? In this realm, the physical tools we once relied on, wealth, status, and bodily strength, provide no protection. They belong to the world that has already crumbled behind us. But as the soul begins its rise, it discovers it has not entered the void entirely alone. While the physical body remains in the ruin below, the intangible actions of a lifetime have taken on a new, solid form. The hymn describes a specific formation. The good deeds a person performed on earth now march before it, while their acts of charity and alms guard the rear. These actions have transformed into a literal, geometric shield. As the soul moves through the dark, these layers of protection absorb hostility, creating a safe passage. Every act of earthly kindness has been converted into the very armor the soul needs to endure the climb. But the ascent is eventually blocked. The wicked, the forces that govern the material world, realize their captive is escaping and move to intercept. The soul is suddenly cornered and imprisoned within the house of accountants, a shadowy, isolated space of interrogation. The accountants demand to know by what authority the soul is leaving. They want to know the name it carries, the proof that it has the right to move beyond their control. The soul responds by invoking the power of the great life and the name of the great light. It holds up the purifying waves of water as its final credential. This radiance is too much for the accountants to withstand. The shadowy walls of their house cannot contain a light that is backed by the authority of the divine. Purity alone serves as the weapon. By asserting its connection to the great life, the soul renders the forces of darkness powerless to stop its progress. The interrogation ends as the light shatters the ceiling of the dark house, and the soul resumes its vertical climb at an even greater speed. The journey concludes in the Dawr al-Mudkhana, the perfect realm. This is the place of the purifying life, where the soul is finally reunited with its source. The soul has cast off its final physical weight. It has left the crumbling house and the accountants behind, finding its permanent home in a world that doesn't require a body to sustain its light. This ancient Mandaean map suggests that the only parts of us that actually survive the journey are our kindness and our connection to the divine. In the end, our deeds are the only things we truly own.